Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CX Goalkeeper podcast. Your host, Gregorio Lioni, will have a smart discussion with expert, thought leader, and friends on customer experience, transformation, innovation, and leadership. I hope you will enjoy the next episode. The second topic on your BIZSHUI, or in the three main groups, is the CX customer experience. You have also developed that in communication, team, and customers. Could you please elaborate a bit on that and really using again, as you did earlier, some example?
Sure. So it comes back to, so the beginning of it, I just said, if your environment supports you, you're going to feel good inside, you're going to feel good in yourself, and you're going to give that great service. So, when you feel good, you've got great communication, you'll listen to people, you'll have empathy, you'll be able to tell a story, you're inspiring people. If you're a CEO of a company, you're going to inspire your employees to come with you on that journey. And looking at, your team, you want your team to be inspired. You want to, we've seen through the pandemic, so much care and so much love from some companies and some terrible example of others, right? And you see the companies who really took care of their team and really did all those small things to make them feel valued, make them feel that they're part of a team. That's when you get your team together, for bad and for worse. Keep your team together by inspiring them, by showing them that you care for them, and then they'll give you in return, they'll give great customer experience, they really will look after your customers. They won't even, they'll want to be here. That's the thing. When you love what you do, you want to be here, right? Yeah. And so the team is, I'm sure you've had that question. Is it the team first, or is it the customers first? Is it the employees first, or is it the customers first? Right? And then we always get that questions when you're in CX. But if you're running a business and you haven't got a team which is engaged, you've not looked after them, and they don't feel valued, they're never going to deliver a great customer experience, right? However amazing customer journey, or how much money you've spent to understand all the touch points and all that kind of things, if you haven't got a team who generally want to be here and really want to be doing what's best, that's never going to work. So, working with them, making sure they feel good, making sure their well-being is cared for, mentally, emotionally, physically. This is what, the corporate organization have got a duty of care. They have got a duty of care for their employees. And it's that responsibility. The more, if you really do it, companies will thrive because people feel cared for, and they know, they won't be moving and shifting from one company to another because they know they're being valued for what they're doing.
I fully agree with you, and I am also of the opinion that if I really need to decide customer first or employee first, I think employees should take care of the customers, and then customer will take care of the shareholders. And as you said, if you have an employee sitting in a dark room in 2 meters small room, everything dark, quite difficult system to use, then it's not possible that they deliver this superior customer experience that our customer are expecting. And I think what you are saying make really sense. The last piece is this personal state of being. You mentioned cognitive, emotions, and behavior. I think this is, from the understanding, a bit difficult to understand and to digest. Could you please elaborate a bit on that?
Sure. So, Gregorio, the way we think affect the way we feel and affect the way we behave, and vice versa. So if you're behaving in a negative manner, you're going to think negatively, you're going to feel negatively. If you get up in the morning, you go for a run, the sun is shining, you're just going, you're full of energy, you're going to be going great, you're going to feel great inside, you're going to be having a really fantastic behavior against people, with your attitude, and you're going to be sharing this. So this is the things, that's our state of being. It's affected by the three, and we need to be able to use tools and techniques, So I'm an NLP practitioner. Over the years, I did some resilience, mindfulness, emotional intelligence, really kind of teaching or learning how to be more performant. So habits, right? What are your habits in the morning? What are your habits in the evenings? What, do you do to every day to feel grateful for, and really creating those habits where you're performing better because you have a routine and you're doing things that makes you happy, brings you joy, and that's really kind of important. And gosh, people, if you're watching and you say, oh, that's easy for you, Claire, you always have energy. Well, I tell you what, 18 months ago, I wasn't full of energy. And you can ask my friends and my family who've been supporting me. I went down that hole, and I went down and I hit down, and I hit it. And when you're that low, no matter how people tell you've got to be positive, you've got to, think forward. And when you're down there, people just, you just don't get it. You can't push yourself out. And actually, it's those little everyday things that you're going to do, being grateful for one thing one day, then two things the next day. Start looking around and start, realizing the great things that you have around you. Start moving forward. So we talk about resilience, bouncing back, but no, we want to bounce forward. Let's learn from it. Let's move forward. This didn't work. How can I improve? Being able to take that time to pause. And again, mindfulness, it's a powerful, powerful tool that we're not using enough. And once you start, it's really hard. I mean, it's taken me years to really kind of do it in a way that I don't have to think about it. I just go in that moment because I know it's good for me. So every lunchtime, I break 30 minutes just to go and pose. Even if it's just 5 minutes, go and pose, every hour, take a 5 minutes break, get up, go and have a drink, get those habits into your life. So you really kind of bring in those positive habits in your life, and then you can start feeling good in yourself, you think good, and you're going to behave in a good, positive manner. So there's so much there that can be done in terms of your own personal state of being. And they all work together, right? So I've working with some mindset coaches, which do a lot of work in energy work, and we do a bit of partnership, and so they kind of refer me to their client, because if their clients are doing some work inner, but then their outer energy is full of rubbish, right? They're never going to move forward. Okay, so they are all working together. The environment will affect the people, affect you inside, and if you feel good, you're going to give that great experience. It's so simple, right?
Extremely, really. I will start now doing that. No, but I think what you're saying, it's really nice. And only making my last example, or taking my last example, what you say is being grateful at the end of the day for something. Even if it's something small. I have a small child, and when he was really days old, not speaking about months or years, now he's 4 years old, but it was super stressful, was the first child. We were working, we need this to do and that, and it was really so stressful. And my mother, again, as example, told me, but you should be grateful that your son is 1 day older. It means, and then I really realized, yes, she's right.
Yeah, they often are our mothers, aren't they? We don't want to tell them too often, but they often are.
I need to pay attention because my mother is listening to my podcast, and therefore I need to pay attention. For sure, she is super, but
definitely.
And I want really to respect also your time, but I would like to ask some additional question. What you shared also in the webcast is the business energy map, these 9 different topics that are relevant. Now, instead of saying, could you please elaborate on every one of them? I will share all the links, but from these 9, which is the most important for you?
Oh, well, for me personally.
Yes.
Oh, that's a really hard one, actually, because they all interlink with each other. But actually, if right here, right now, and actually this week, with the change that I've had in my career, the career area has been a big, massive focus. And last few weeks ago, I looked at my career area, which is my entrance, and I added some water in there. I added a diffusers in there. I had a little red Buddha in there. I was turning on and off the lights, just to bring that energy, give a nice clean to my door. I've got a little bell outside. So I wanted to bring some new energy into my career, and look, look what happened. So my whole career has completely changed. Maybe I've done a bit too much then.
could you please share exactly all the changes that you did, because we are going all to do that?
Yes. So, when you go to a Chinese restaurant, right, there's always a fish tank. Okay, but so fish or water is all about prosperity, it's all about money, but so it needs to be kind of a nice watery kind of fresh water, not dirty kind of things, right? So in the career area, so when you walk in, whether it's your office or whether it's your home, the front door, if it's in the middle, that's the mouth of the sheet. So this will be the career area. And so there, it'd be good to have some water. So perhaps it can be a painting. It doesn't have to be a fish tank, but it can be a painting of water. It could be a nice kind of river falling, or, something with water, or something with fish, if you like fish. I've actually used my diffusers. So I've got little diffusers which you put water in, and I put some essential oil in, and you turn it on, so it kind of makes bubbles, so it makes some beautiful little noise. It smells beautiful, and at the same time it's water, so it's a magic diffuser. So depending on which areas, this is what the power of Feng Shui brings. If you want more money, you will look at the top left-hand side of your office or your home, and then you will add some cures for bringing more prosperity. So you may, put a big loaf of cash in there, or a little money tree, or anything that represents money. So it really kind of depends of where you are. And when I work with clients, that's the first thing that we do. So remember, I was saying about assessing. The first thing we're assessing, and we will assess the clients, the individual, and saying, where are you in your life in those 9 areas? So on a 0 to 10, where are you in your career, in your relationships, in your family? And so once you've got that understanding of where they think they are, then you can add some extra cures here and there in the right place.
And asking a real expert, do you have for these 9 areas weekly targets, or yearly targets, or monthly targets? How are you practicing that?
Whoa, yes. So now we're taking to the next level, right, Gregorio? So yes, those 9 areas of your life, then you can start using them as your vision board. You can start using them as your objective, your monthly objective, your weekly objective, right? So in my prosperity area, what do I want to achieve for this month? What is the kind of money? Do you want $10,000? Do you want $5,000? Do you want $50,000, right? In your fame and reputation, do you want to win an award, or do you want maybe to be in the paper? What is it that you want to bring? So once you start using that as your objective setting, this is where the power of Feng Shui comes to life, because you will add things with intentions. So you will remove things when you declutter, so you can leave the space for something else, and then you add, you know, a cure or remedies, a color, an ornament into a specific area, because you've got an intention for it. And that's when it becomes very, very powerful. When you do your objective that way, it's so much clearer, because you exactly know where you're going for each of the areas. So if you want to learn things, develop, you know, new skills, you will put it in your, you know, self-development and knowledge. What is it that you want to achieve in that area for this particular month? Very, very powerful to do that. And the best time to do it's now, right? Yesterday was a new moon. So doing your monthly objective on a new moon is the best time, because you're planting the seeds in a new moon, and at a full moon you're collecting what has just grown. So it's really good to use the energy from the outside to also help, you know, with your own energy.
Thank you very much, Claire. It was really super interesting. Now I will ask the last three questions, a bit more about you, to learn a bit about you. And it was really outstanding discussion. We learned a lot, and I hope that people can really practice and then also share their learnings about what they are doing, because at the end it's not something expensive that you need to invest a lot of money, but are small changes, small amendments, small tailored steps in order to achieve what people want to achieve. And sometimes it's careers, sometimes it's money, something is something different. Therefore, thank you very much. Perhaps, is there a book that you say, this helped me during my career, that you would like to share with the audience, and you say this is something that also other people could profit?
Apart from my books, of course, yeah.
Sure.
Yes, well, obviously there's a couple of Feng Shui books which, you know, that you can go and check out. I haven't got them by hand, but Karen Rowe, and she's Move Your Stuff, Change Your Life. Very simple, and this kind of that's where it got me. I read this book and I was just like hooked, and then I started learning more. So Davina McHale, she was my mentor. She's written a couple of books on Feng Shui as well, and a lot more around the energy that we have from the outside to when we're born, and all those kind of things as well. So those are a couple of books on Feng Shui. If you want to read something simple, Davina McHale or Karen Rowe, and just go and check them out and get their books. One book which really really had a big impact as well in my personal development was High Performance Habit from Brendan Burchard. And again, it was a time where I was trying to do so much here, there, and everywhere. You know, when you're an entrepreneur, you're doing this, you're doing that, you've got this hat, and then you're moving here and do that. And actually reading this book really kind of focused me on the right things. So focus me on habits, morning habits, evening habits, focus me on that energy. How can we keep up with that energy? We need to, you know, looking at all the ways that we keep our energy going, really focusing on congruence, you know, being true with yourself, with your message, being very authentic with what you do and how you do. So it was a very, very powerful book that I would, you know, recommend anybody to read. That those are very good.
Thank you very much, Claire. And if somebody would like to connect with you, what's the best way?
So Claire with an I and an E, Bosq, BOSCQ, Scott.com, or just Google me, right? I'm everywhere. Just Google me. I'm on social media. Come and watch some YouTube videos. I've got loads of YouTube videos which give loads of tips and things like that. I've got some interviews with some amazing people that also give amazing tips. So loads and loads of content on my YouTube channel. So yes, and if you want to message me, I'm always happy to have a quick chat to see if that's for you. Not everybody, you know, not everybody gets it. Not everybody but people are kind of, I think people have had enough now. They want to have a little bit more of that alternative, kind of a holistic approach to themselves and their business. And that's where I feel the pandemic has helped, if I can say that this way, is to make people care more, right? Care more for their employees, care more for their customers, care more what's really, really matters. And so that's, for that, I'm very grateful.
Thank you very much, Claire. And we are coming exactly to the last question. This is the golden nugget. You already shared one, but I ask again this question because I'm always asking that. It's your golden nugget. It's something that we discussed or something new that you would leave to the audience.
Yeah, there's a quote from Gandhi who says, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And sometimes you see things and you see quote and, you kind of walk past it. And one day this quote hit me, and I'd seen it before, but I stopped and actually realized what he meant. And he made me realize that we are all here. And if we want to do something in this world, we need to do it. We are the people. We need to be the change. And, if you feel in yourself that you're not confident, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Yes, you can do it. You need to be the change, whether it's your business, whether it's yourself, show the world what you want to be and how you want the world to be.
Thank you very much, Claire. And as usual, I'm not commenting the golden nugget because it was Claire golden nugget. The only thing that I want to say is really thank you very much for your time. It was really a big pleasure to have you on my podcast, on the CX Goalkeeper podcast. And again, congratulations for your new job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And also to the audience, thank you very much. It was a great pleasure to have you on this show. I hope that you enjoyed the discussion as much as I did, because it was really an outstanding discussion with Claire Boscq-Scott. I hope to speak to you soon, to see you soon. Thank you very much. Grazie mille. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share the word of mouth. Subscribe it, share it. Until the next episode, please don't forget, we are not in a B2B or B2C business, we are in a human-to-human environment. Thank you!